expressed on the following program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership.
Arizona, Phoenix, Brother Mike back on the radio. Welcome to HardcoreChristianity.com. Today's Bible study, the new sexual revolution. Welcome to Filthy Fridays on HardcoreChristianity.com. Please do not call somebody and tell them the radio program's on. This is just for our family. Filthy Fridays is a family show just for the folks at HardcoreChristianity.com. God bless you. Yes, this is Brother Mike. I'm the counselor from the House of Healing. 34 years in Maricopa County, been a professional counselor. This is my 13th year on the radio here in Maricopa County. Check out the website quickly, HardcoreChristianity.com. Our services are Wednesday, Thursdays, and Fridays. Wednesday night is Ladies' Night for teaching, healing, and deliverance. Friday night is my teaching service for my radio listeners, 6:30 p.m. Thursday night at 6 o'clock, the training video. If you're interested in deliverance or healing, please don't miss that video. It's free, obviously. Also on Thursday night, individual, personal prayer for everyone who comes for healing and deliverance. Our next seminar, Friday, March 27th, 6:30 p.m., The Glorious Gifts of the Spirit, yours for the asking. Please sign up on the website. I would come a little early if I were you, pardon me. I would get a seat. God bless you. The new sexual revolution. It's right here, folks. It started. What was the old one? Well, in the late 1960s, as you know, so I'm an older person, so, I did have some recollection of it, so to speak. I was young then, It happened during the Summer of Love. Do you remember it? Yeah, it was the late 1960s in San Francisco in the Haight-Ashbury district. There it was, the Summer of Love, the anti-war movement, the anti-war revolution, the psychedelic drugs, pervasive, LSD, tantamount. The psychedelic rock music hit the planet during the Haight-Ashbury love festivals. All kinds of free love, open, blatant sexuality occurring over and over and over again. It was the moment, it was the period when America transferred over to what we now see is in a country soaked in drugs, sex, and rock and roll. The 21st century was really birthed during the Summer of Love in San Francisco. Everybody said it was new love, it was free love. Everybody just did whatever they wanted to do. College students everywhere dropped out. They came to the Summer of Love in San Francisco. And of course, you know what happened. Overcrowding, homelessness, hunger, drug addictions, alcoholism, crime, rampant VD. All these things occurred during the, quote, Summer of Love, which turned into a summer of disaster. But there, Satan laid the groundwork in San Francisco for the Folsom Street Fair, for the rise of homosexuality in America. The AIDS epidemic, the foundation of it, which was laid by promiscuity during the Summer of Love and the Haight-Ashbury district, years of drugs, sex, and rock and roll. The foundation of it was laid there. And then later on in the 80s, the AIDS epidemic rose. Later on, now, we're on the verge of literally same-sex marriages being completely legalized all around the country. That's just around the corner. There's no way to stop it now. What had happened was promiscuity laid foothold in America then and swept the nation and has given us the 21st century, a country soaked in corruption and sin. soaked in evil. Led by who? Well, politicians. You know, you've got Republicans and Democrats. You've got Bush. You've got Obama. What you've got there is a collection of chronic, obsessive, pathological liars. When Bush opened his mouth, he was either lying or mispronouncing a word. When Obama opens his mouth, he's either reading a lie off a teleprompter or fumbling through one of his own lies. All they do is lie. The whole country is soaked in sin, lust, gambling, sexual perversion, pedophilia, bestiality, chronic pornography everywhere. And when I say everywhere, I mean literally everywhere. The entire mainstream media is soaked in sexual perversion and advertising. Everything from cereal to God only knows what has some kind of a sexual connotation. It's incredible. But believe me, this thing's going to get worse, much worse, because Satan is going to use promiscuity and sexual perversion and marry it to the New World Order or Mystery Babylon, the rise of the one world church. In this period of time, in the future, in the very near future, by the way, Mystery Babylon is going to arrive and there's going to become a unification of all the religions. The major religions. And in Revelation chapter 17, Mystery Babylon is booming and is overrun or destroyed by the Antichrist. But this is where we're headed in this country. We're going to join the rest of the world in this march to destruction. And it's already started. The summer of love, perversion, is going to rank as raw amateurism based on what's coming. Did you see this article in the paper last week? Quote, 3 men married each other on Valentine's Day have become internet sensations in Thailand after photos from their pre-wedding shoot went viral. Netizens congratulated the men, only identified as Joke, Bell, and Art, who were married in a traditional Buddha water-pouring ceremony at midnight on February 15th, 2015. The photos were shown, and the trio in Thai and Western wedding attire, and they text on one read, "Pure love cannot be seen by your eyes." If you not want to know what it's worth, you have to see it with your heart. Unquote. That was one of the text messages from the wedding. Quote, on one TV station's Facebook page alone, a photo of the men had more than 50,000 likes and 1,000 comments. Quote, love occurs unconditionally and it is not limited to only 2 people. Love brings peace to the world. Art commented on Facebook. Art was one of the 3 guys that got married. The trio reportedly spent their honeymoon in their home province of Uthai Thanai. And I'm guessing on that pronunciation, I apologize. Quote, the wedding itself was a symbolic one as gay and 3-way relationships are not recognized yet in Thailand. Alrighty then. The perversion the devil is going to heap on this planet is going to make Haight-Ashbury look mild. Check it out. Birmingham, Alabama. Quote, did you see this article? Came out just a few days ago. Despite a federal judge's rulings legalizing same-sex marriage, most probate judges in Alabama on Monday refused to issue marriage licenses to gay and lesbian couples, escalating a legal showdown that echoed the battles over desegregation here in the 1960s. Quote, although court officials in some of the state's largest cities, including Birmingham, Huntsville, and Montgomery, quickly issued marriage licenses to same-sex couples. Up to 52 of Alabama's 67 counties, according to the gay rights group Human Rights Campaign, declined to process the required paperwork. Quote, it was unclear how many of the judges were acting out of overt defiance and how many were simply weighing how to navigate a freshly jumbled legal landscape after Chief Justice Roy S. Moore of the Alabama Supreme Court on Sunday ordered the judges not to issue marriage licenses to same-sex couples. We've got Alabama's Chief Justice issuing an order. We've got an order out from a federal judge, said Judge Greg Norris of Monroe County, who is also president of the Alabama Probate Judges Association. Quote, it's just a very difficult situation, unquote. Quote. Well, you know what's going to happen here, don't you? Yeah, the United States Supreme Court, I think next year, is scheduled to hear a case or two, and my guess is they're going to approve same-sex marriage. But what's the devil got in store for us in the future, do you know? Of course, here's what's going to happen. The devil's going to get same-sex marriage approved, and then he's going to go for polygamy. He wants polygamy approved. And based on the grounds that the lawyers have argued for same-sex marriages, there shouldn't be any reason polygamy should be left out. You can use basically the same arguments, and it seems to make some kind of demonic sense. 2 Timothy chapter 4, Paul is instructing his superpowered convert, Timothy. Timothy was a powerful disciple of God, not just a Christian. Christians are not disciples. All disciples are Christians, but 0.001% of Christians are disciples. Timothy was a hardcore, powerful disciple. Paul said, quote, preach the word and be instant in season and out of season. Reprove, rebuke, exhort with all longsuffering and doctrine. For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine. And after their own lusts they shall heap to themselves teachers, having itching ears. They shall turn away their ears from the truth. They will be turned to fables. That's the Greek word muthos. What's a muthos? Well, that's where we get our English word myth from. It's myths. Paul said, quote, watch in all things, endure afflictions or hardships, do the work of an evangelist, and make a full proof of your ministry. If you don't have the dunamis power of the Holy Ghost to make a full proof of your ministry, you have failed as a minister of the gospel, and you are not a disciple. You need to come to the House of Healing and participate in our disciple traineeship program. You need to use the powerful, supernatural power of the Holy Ghost for healing and deliverance and for spreading the good news of Jesus Christ. This is the only way to pull these people out of the fire, because the destruction of America, the moral decay of America is just around the corner in acceleration. It's already there. It's going to get much, much worse.
The views expressed on the preceding program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership. This program has been sponsored by Michael W. Smith.